Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Byron Valle, who will make his pro debut on Up Next Fighting 30, January 31st. Hello, Byron. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Thank you for taking the invitation. And actually, in just about 2 weeks, you will make your pro debut after really a successful amateur career. So, if you can tell me, how happy are you that you will be fighting as the pro for the first time? And were there any differences in your training camp for the amateur fights and this one?
I'm super excited to make my pro debut. You know, this is like everything that I've been dreaming of. Just now coming into like it's right in front of me now. It's the opportunity to start grinding to make it to the UFC. I would say preparation wise, everything's kind of been the same. I trained as a pro, like if I was a pro as fighting an amateur. So now it's just the realism of just the pro record.
And actually, you were scheduled to fight in October. It was like supposed to be your pro debut. And what happened with that fight?
Yeah, I had ended up tearing my hamstring, so I had to pull out. Unfortunately, I don't really like to pull out of fights because it's like a scheduled date, but that one was to the point where I couldn't walk, so I had to take 3 months off of just complete training, and now I'm back and I'm feeling better than ever.
But actually, I think that it's like 3 months. It's not a bad timing to be back in the cage.
No, yeah, I think it worked out perfectly. Recovery went well, and it pushed through fast, so I was able to recover.
And do you know anything about your opponent? So maybe where can be like dangerous or make some danger for you?
My opponent, I respect his skills. I just think that he's very awkward, and I think that awkwardness is probably the only danger that I could see. Him throwing something at a weird angle, but I'm a very talented striker, so I feel comfortable standing with him. I feel comfortable taking it to the ground. So I think he's the one that's going to be in danger the most of the fight.
Yes, and I think that you showed, especially in your last few fights, that you are really dangerous everywhere. And actually, in your last fight, I really like that you tried armbar and a few seconds after you submit opponent by rear naked choke, and the opponent was a really solid one. So it was like super
Yeah,
impressive win.
thank you.
And because the fight, of course, will be scheduled for 15 minutes, and probably you will try to end it before it. But about like the cardio aspect, how do you feel training and preparing for the 15 minutes?
I feel amazing. I just came from training right before this, so we pushed the paces 5 minute rounds as just the training camp in general. So I feel good. I did 30 minutes of basically straight rounds, so I'm comfortable being in there for 15 minutes, and the atmosphere that we have there, it just shows like it pushes us. It makes us feel like if we're in the fight already. So as soon as I step into that cage door, January 31st, it's gonna feel like another sparring session, but this time I get to take the guy's head off.
And in your amateur fights, the first few fights you won by decision, then you lost of course, the close fight, and then you finished everybody. So was this loss changed something in your approach?
100%. Yeah, it changed my whole mindset. Before that, I was always wondering, like, because I was so fresh. I had only been training for a year at that time when I was fighting. So I was always wondering, I'm like, when am I gonna fight somebody that's gonna give me more of a challenge? And when I fought that guy, I had zero wrestling. I never had trained it in my life. So as soon as that loss, I decided to take 7 months off and go and train wrestling and just elevate my game. And I switched to a different gym as well. So it made me a lot stronger. It made me a lot like more physically prepared and mentally.
So how old were you overall when you started to train MMA?
18. Yeah, I had started training, I think in October, the first month after I turned 18.
And did you have any like previous background, even like traditional? No, nothing.
Nothing. I had zero, absolutely zero experience with any kind of training. I just, from school little fights that I had or just little scuffles that I had growing up. That's all I had.
So when you went to the MMA gym for the first time, was it your plan to be a pro MMA fighter, or was it more of the like self-defense or something around this?
No, that was my plan. I always knew growing up that I wanted to do it. My parents just didn't want me to do it to save my mind and focus on school because I had struggled a little bit in school. So as soon as I got the green light to go, I was like, let's go and train and let's try to make this my dream come true.
And what was the like name of your first gym?
Uprise MMA. I still go there consistently and I coach there, so I'm constantly always there as well.
And do you have the fighters like you, like young up and coming prospects, either like amateur or even pro, the fighters that they have like big potential?
Yeah, we have a lot of guys right now that are growing in the careers, and we have a lot of prospects that we're getting ready to take to like the next level. So I think this year is gonna show a lot for that gym, and we're gonna show a lot of talent.
And because I think that for the like bantamweight, you are quite a tall fighter. And do you
Yeah.
think about like in the future, because right now you are still quite young, about going up to featherweight division?
Well, yeah, for this fight now, because of this new opponent, I'm fighting at 45, so I'm at the featherweight division for this fight. But I am a big 35er, so we'll see how that goes. I think the more older I get and the more bigger I get as a growing man, I'm probably gonna have to get up to that division for sure.
It's like always like older fighters decided to move up because it's just too hard to make a weight all the time.
Yeah, it's a pretty big cut for me. I cut like 30 pounds to get down to 35, so I think eventually I'm gonna for sure go up to the featherweight division.
And for now, because you are like even in your last fight, you showed that you are like opportunistic grappler. You had a really also really good striking fights. But from like your perspective, what do you think is the best tool that you have?
I think my best tool is I would say my timing. I have very good timing on everything that I kind of do of striking and grappling. I'm very opportunistic. So if you give me an opportunity and I see a hole, I'm gonna take it. And I think that's probably my best thing is I'm able to make those reads during the fights.
And do you have maybe a finish like either submission or knockout, like specific knockout that you would like to win your fight with?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go straight down the middle and I'm gonna crack him with a left hand right down to the chin and it's gonna put him to sleep. I'm thinking first round.
Because I believe last year you had one fight, if I'm correct. And and
Yeah.
and and for this year, do you have like some kind of plan? So how active you would you like to be?
Yeah, I won 4 or 5 fights this year. Last year I was riddled with a bunch of injuries. I wanted to fight a lot more, but it's God's plan. So now that I'm back here and I'm excited to try to put on like 4 or 5 fights as a professional in this year.
So maybe this year you will fight for some title, even if you want to be as active.
Yeah, I want to fight for a belt and I want to get to the UFC as fast as possible. I think I'm UFC bound and I think I'll be ready by the end of this year with the experience that I'm going to get.
And do you have like role models in your MMA career, even like on the beginning of your career, or even now, the like maybe some kind of coach or just a fighter?
Yeah, so growing up, I was a big fan of the whole UFC, so I was always watching it. I grew up on guys like Anderson Silva. That was a big part of like me wanting to become a fighter. Also, the Diaz brothers, especially the older brother Nick Diaz. That's probably the closest inspiration that I had. Like I'm like he's very similar to the way I grew up and the way I think. So I would say those two were probably the top guys that made me want to pursue this career, like as a role model wise.
And actually, I saw on IG and also on YouTube that actually Nick Diaz is back. Of course, not fighting, but just back in like normal life. So I think that it's really good information because he's such a big legend. So it's like good to
Yeah.
see him in like a better shape.
Yeah, exactly. It's better mindset for him that he's back. Yeah, I think he looks a lot healthier.
And about Anderson Silva, because he had so many great moments, it's kind of crazy. But do you have like maybe one fight or just one moment from his career that you really like appreciate?
Yeah, so when he kind of went into like the zone when he was fighting Forrest Griffin at the end of the sequence when he was gonna knock him out, I felt like just being that calm and being that precise with all his shots, the confidence that he had, knowing that he was basically, it felt like he was untouchable. So that what I would say was probably my defining moment for Anderson Silva is like being like, wow, I want to be like that guy when I grow up.
Yes, yes, I would agree. Probably the best, one of the best performances ever, especially that Forrest was a light heavyweight champion. I think that just few months ago, earlier.
Yeah,
When Anderson did it, it was kind of crazy. But of course, like Vitor Belfort win and
the
many
Vitor
others,
Belfort,
it's
yeah,
like kind of crazy.
definitely, definitely.
And right now, are you like super excited about like maybe one or few fighters who are on the current UFC roster?
Yeah, there's a couple big fights that I'm excited for. There's a couple fighters, as well. Right now at the moment I would say probably my favorite one is Carlos Prates. I like Carlos Prates the way he fights. I think it's just the aggression and the precision on power. When you watch Prates fight, it's exciting. You know it's gonna be something like spectacular. So I would say him, and then like I think Arman Sarukian's a very good fighter as well. I'm hoping he fights Ilia Topuria later on this year. So yeah, it should be good. And then obviously the return of Conor McGregor if he comes back. Hopefully that'd be a thing that actually happens this year.
Yes, and I think that Ilya against Arman is probably like maybe the best fight that UFC can book, maybe top three, but it's just need to happen.
For sure, 100% agree.
And for your like career, what is like the biggest motivator for you in just like pursuing this kind of dream?
Um, I would say it's my family and my friends. I made a promise to them that I was gonna go out there and give it my all to achieve my dream and to be able to hopefully in the future provide for everybody. I'm a big family guy, so I want to just go out there and make as much money as possible and build a legacy, for years after even when I'm gone.
So the main dream is like the UFC gold, I believe.
Yeah, the main dream is the UFC gold, get the title, and then go out and pursue other endeavors.
Just being on the top and do something else, just go somewhere else and be on the top there, right?
Yeah, I wanna take over the world with everything that I do. So I wanna be as successful as possible, leave a lasting legacy where people could look up and be like how I was to watching all these other guys and being like I want to be like him. A good role model I want to be.
And of course, the MMA is like a super tough sport. And for you, when you have like the tough training session, how do you like reset mentally just to be back like next day?
The next day I just go out there and say it's another day, like it's another day where I could get better. It's another day where I could improve. If it was a bad training session the day before, I'm like now I have the opportunity to reset that and make it better this day and just I think I just know where I'm gonna be in life and that I know that I'm gonna be successful. So if I have an off day, everybody does. It's just something that comes with the game and just go on there and take it on the chin like a punch and fight the next day as a brand new day.
And probably you can't have just great days. It's either like in life, in gym, it's not possible. So
Yeah, I feel like if you're having great days all the time and not any tough thing, you're never growing. And I'm constantly growing as a human and as a fighter, and that's what I want.
and outside of training, when you have a little bit more free time, do you have another like hobbies or just things that you really like to do?
Yeah, I like to go outside and go out in nature, maybe go fishing or go hiking with my friends, spend some family time. Just do some. I'm a very simple guy. I don't really do too much crazy things. Um, I just want to kind of stay focused. I feel like when I'm when I'm where I want to be is when I could kind of take a little bit of off my shoulder and go and do regular life.
So after the fight, do you like to take few days just to like do nothing like related to fighting, or you plan to be as quickly as you can in the gym?
I normally go straight back right away. The only times I take off is when I sometimes after my fights I get brand new like tattoos and stuff. So that's only the times that I'll spend some of the time off. But I want to be active this year, so I think I'm gonna just right away back on the gym and get ready for the next card.
And on your IG, I saw that you had like many photos with like absolute legends like Mashida, Jones, and many others. And do you like train with them, or at least with the few of them?
Yeah, I have the opportunity to train with a lot of them. Some like when I was able to train with Leota, that was amazing. It's like a legendary fighter, so I had a perfect opportunity with him. But most of the people that you see me taking photos with, I'll train with if I have the opportunity with. John Jones, I was there. I wasn't training with, but obviously he's a bigger size guy, so but just being able to watch and talk to him, it was amazing. Like I learned a lot. So I guess you could say mental training from being able to talk to him.
Yes, I think that this kind of like people with such a big knowledge being also on the top, training with them is great, but also like hearing the like advices from them, it's probably also super like beneficial for you.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think it's one of the most beneficial things that you could do is that guy's been at the top level. So just learning and hearing advice from their mistakes and also from their triumphs.
I have one last question. It's a little bit outside of fighting, but let's say it can be a little bit also fun. If you can book a UFC fight, so MMA fight, but between non-fighters, so it can be like actors or
Yeah,
politicians, everyone. Which kind of fight would you like to see?
I would like to see there's a two actors I think that they like the whole sport and they respect it. I would say maybe John Bernthal versus Tom Hardy. So the Punisher versus Bane, like those guys. Tom Hardy does jiu-jitsu all the time, and John Bernthal's a big fan of boxing, and he's trained it a lot most of his life. So I think those two martial artists right there, they're martial artists. You can consider them, I guess. So yeah, I would love to see that fight.
But actually, it's a great marketing, like Punisher
Yeah,
against Bane. It's nothing
yeah,
better.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay, Byron, so many thanks for the time and for conversation. I hope that you will win your fight quite quickly, and of course you will be active this year. Just also that you will stay undefeated.
yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's the plan.